yoga practice helps me by bringing me more into my center, helping me see things clearly. I see how my actions result in consequences. So I think that the primary issue with people and their connection or lack thereof to nature starts with that they're disconnected with themselves. And that was how I was. And as I became more present to my own experience and less pulled around by outside stresses, I calmed down and things just seemed to be more important. And let your awareness be with your breath moving in and out. Most yoga people that practice yoga that I know, are very conscious of their place in the world and their impact. And I don't think that's a coincidence. So I think that yoga practice and teaching yoga helps that whole spectrum of things. I think it helps make people more aware, make them more satisfied with the life that they have, and perhaps not as grasping to have more material things. But our whole society is built on consumption. There's a broad movement for sustainability now that is very conscious about things that are environmental responsible and sustainable and things that aren't. And so I think that movement is a very worthwhile thing to support. So, I do my work, I do my own practice. This, I think, is another kind of personal practice. And then I teach yoga to help people connect with themselves and to be more aware and to slow down. And I think that has an impact on their lives.
You begin having the mind-body connection. And it really is the secret sauce of yoga. Some people don't come to yoga looking for that. Some people do. Some people are looking for that intangible feeling or maybe the spirituality of it. Other people, again, come because they are physically wounded from hurting themselves or to get toned or whatever. But if you sit with it long enough in yoga, not long enough, like 15, 30 minutes, but long enough, practice after practice after practice, you keep coming back, you do get that mind-body connection. And people say it. People have said, a year ago, I would have reacted this way. Now I react this way. It has made me a better person overall. Doesn't make your problems go away. It helps you react to your problems differently, and you receive information differently.
Close your eyes. For me, yoga was how I found my mindfulness. I needed something physical to help me get in touch with that part of myself. I wouldn't have been able to really do it by just guided meditation. I really needed some sort of physical movement or physical aspect of it in order to kind of train myself to be able to look inwardly and be mindful about situations. And then from there, I was able to kind of work on the practice And now I've gotten it to the point where it's guided meditations or visualizations. For me, they're very interrelated. If I didn't have the practice on a regular, consistent basis of tying my body and my mind together through yoga, I think I would have a much more difficult time just meditating on my own.
Feel a little sense of unity here, a sense of simply being present here. And in my yoga teaching practice, I think the most powerful thing that I can offer people is to give them that awareness of their breath. It seems so simple, but when your mind is consciously connected with the act of breathing, it changes how you perceive the world, and it changes how you react to spatially.
For students that I say they can use in their toolbox is how to apply mindfulness outside of the yoga studio. Oftentimes, when people think of mindfulness, they think of someone sitting cross-legged in a yoga studio with leggings on and they're chanting. And that can be mindfulness too, but you can take your mindfulness practice anywhere.
So for me, I think that there's a lot about yoga that is practice of consciousness and helping in making kind of better choices, especially when it does come to consumption of things and checking in with my mind about why I'm making certain choices and are those choices because of different things that are going on. And I think yoga gives me the time and the space to drill down in my mind about why or how I'm making those decisions.
When I practice outside, and there's just a feeling of connectedness. I feel very much a part of the life that is everywhere. There's a lot of research indicating that spending time in nature is good for you and helps you be less stressed and calmer and happier. I like to take yoga outside because I like that connection to nature instead of always being in a yoga studio. I know I have students regularly come to me and talk about how their yoga practice helps calm them down, helps make them more open and compassionate.
My name is G. Markley, and I'm a hairdresser. With yoga, it helped me when I work, I relax. So when I hold the hair, I comb the hair, and they know right away. They say, "You practice yoga?" I say, "How do you know?" I say, "You relax me." And they come to me. They can be very crazy, but soon they come to me, I hold their hair, I comb their hair, I talk to them. They are relaxed.
I had another experience that was memorable to me walking home from work one day down through the neighborhood, and lovely day, and I just felt completely at ease and at peace with everything around me, the plants, the trees, the sky, the birds. And I had this feeling that this is home. This is where I belong. I'm part of all this. So I try to cultivate that sense in my life of not being separate from things around me, but being a part of it. And when I see the stream getting filled up with things like plastic bottles, it's like that's happening to me. Right? It's like I'm being littered as well. And that's one of the motivations for me to come down on a regular basis and pick up things, take out of the natural environment what really doesn't belong here. The way I see this is, if you think about the production of plastic and the pollution of the environment from plastic, the best way to not pollute the environment with plastic is to not make the plastic. Right now, there's no cost to anybody that buys a plastic container and then throws it away. The cost is all on the environment, and it's the disposable, easy disposable society that creates this problem. I've had people, one of the people at the yoga studio told me that pictures of the bottles that I posted on Facebook had a definite impact on them. I think that it's part of the visibility. It helps get the information in front of people that, hey, this is still an issue. There's another batch out there, and the people are bothered by that. When they see that there's this pollution in their neighborhood, it bothers them. And I think that that's a good thing for people to be bothered by that.